Welcome to this week's edition of the Sports Scoop Coaches Show. Joining me is
Mahatma.
Who knows who's joining me today?
This is my tiger outfit for slaying tigers.
Slaying tigers.
Yep. So it's got Mahatma Hammond. Okay.
Mahatma Hammond.
Yep.
Is joining me.
Yep.
Not joining us once again is Joel Hayford.
Joel who?
I saw the truck in my driveway, so that means he's out scoping the duck slough.
I saw it out in the VFW parking lot. It must be scoping out the bingo table.
Must
there.
be.
Yep, whatever you call it, a bingo, whatever it is.
Hafe came back. Hafe and Lori closed up the cabin this week, and he came back last night, and it took him about 5 minutes, Teddy, to tell me, well, I won $100 of bingo. I won 2 pieces of meat. I mean, the guy's just uncanny. He wins every place he goes.
Wow.
Let's just talk about the people that are here.
Okay,
All right.
Teddy.
Lucky dauber.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about football first because we're into playoffs now, Teddy, and I think we'll start with JWP and NRHEG because their seasons are over already. It seems like football just started.
One goes on, one goes home.
JWP and Joey Joyce. Last year they were 4-5. This year the Bulldogs finished 1-8. They lost to top-seeded New Ulm Cathedral in the opening round of the section, 44-24. Tommy Gannon did hit the 100-yard mark again, and they had over 300 yards of offense against the top seed. But the Dogs were hit by injuries this year, and it really caught up with them.
Right, and they just couldn't stop the run. You know, that was kind of their nemesis all year. They were good at the run, but they had trouble stopping it. But Joy's got them. They bought in the program. They're hitting the weights in the off season, and that's the whole key right now. So we just keep continuing on that path.
And the smaller you are a school, the more the injuries hurt because you just don't have that depth, do you?
Yeah. Nope, you don't.
So hopefully the Dogs, Joey, keep the faith, and Bulldogs keep thinking positive. A 1-8 season, I know, is nothing that they expected either, but it is what it is.
That's it.
NRHEG, the Panthers were cruising along at 6-1 going into the last game of the regular season. They lost a 1-pointer to Maple River, and then they ran into Blue Earth in the opening round of the section. The Bucks hammered the 4th-seeded Panthers 44-22, I believe, something to that effect, or 48-22 maybe. And Dan Stork's comment was, Blue Earth is incredibly fast.
And and he wouldn't use the injury bug, but they lost a couple key players.
They had 5 starters injured and went out in that game alone.
Yeah.
So that is tough. The Panthers, last year they were 3-6, so they completely reversed it this year. 6-3, and hopefully that's the foundation for a good 2016.
And probably gave Waterville their only real tussle.
Giving Waterville their only tough game of the year so far, 13-7, and I know they were hoping for another tussle with the Bucks, and that's what they would have gotten if they could have won that first game. But the WEM, John Bakken's crew, 9-0 on the year. Of course, they were the top seed in their section. They defeated Medford, who did not win a game all year, 41-13 in the first round, Teddy.
Medford is not that good.
No.
Good analysis.
Yeah,
And
I'm just writing it down here.
Yeah, you got to get up early in the morning to fool old Teddy, I'll tell you.
No offense to the Bucks, but
Teddy's elevator goes all the way to the top.
So Tuesday now we will have Blue Earth coming to WEM,
Buccaneer
which might
versus
be
Buccaneer.
a decent little game.
I'm going to wager the Buccaneers will win. That's what I'm wagering,
well, yeah, you can't bet against an undefeated. In the other half of that section, it'll be Kenyon and Maple River. They both have 1 loss for the year, so that could be a great game.
That'd be a good tussle to see who's going to come up with. Word today is tussle. Everybody used tussle out there.
Yep.
But what's the price of corn?
I don't know.
Buccaneer.
Buccaneer,
Yep,
okay.
that's just my old homecoming button I used to use when we
Where do you
played.
put your bucking hat?
And Teddy,
That's good, Andy.
Teddy, we gotta keep going because Andy's starting to get on a roll, and once he starts, there's no shutting him up.
Yeah.
Waseca, the Blue Jays, number 2 seed, Teddy, and they had a first round bye, which I'm sure comes in handy. You get a little all the nagging injuries get rested up. I know some coaches would just soon play.
Yep.
But
Yep, I got the way we're going to take down the Tigers, baby.
They had to bye the first round.
Yeah.
They will be at home Tuesday night, and coming to town is Hutchinson, the 3rd seed. And all Hutchinson did against New Ulm was won 71-28.
Yep. But that's why I got this here, okay? I don't want to hear from any folks out there about PETA and anything like that, or big game hunters that have to close down because they shot a lion or whatever, but we're going tiger hunting. And Hutch Tigers, the last 2 years, have ended our season.
That's right.
To go to state, and now they got to come to our house. So we got no excuses this time. We know that they're just going to pound the ball on us, and we're going to take them out, and if I have to, no, I'm just kidding. But this is my old 22. Got this baby. Many a squirrel with this baby.
7 o'clock kickoff on Tuesday night.
Yep.
It's the section semifinals. The other semifinal will have Marshall taking on Faribault. Faribault won its first game of the year by ousting Mankato East.
What an upset.
So that's why you play the games,
That's
right?
why you do. Mankato must have looked completely by them. And they throttled them during the season, Mankato East did. So,
yep.
Yeah.
You never know in high school ball.
You peak at the right time.
And Teddy, both the JV and the 9th grade wrapped up great seasons this week. Both of you defeated Fairmont in the final game. Your crew, the freshmen, finished 8-0, perfect 8-0.
Yep.
The JV finished 7-1. So you got to like what you see coming up.
Well, I think Brad put together all the totals in the top 5 grades, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, whatever. They were 38-4 so far, and that's with the varsity still going. So, you know, you don't want to make too big a deal about it, but at the same time, that's a pretty good system going right now.
Phenomenal. So Tuesday night, if you're a Buccaneer or a Blue Jay fan, you got section football, and there's no greater time than to get out when it's tourney time.
And the weather's supposed to be nice again.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a beautiful week again.
So, jeepers, can't beat that.
Well, Teddy, we're going to shock our crew now, and the next thing we're going to look at is cross country.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
And we'll start out the normal way, Teddy.
That's a shock.
NRHEG and WM/JWP, no results.
And it's been that way all season.
The Panthers ran at Freeborn last week. The what are they in cross country? Their nickname.
The Grizzlies.
Are they the Grizzlies?
Well, wait, now the Panthers you're talking.
No,
Okay.
WMJWP.
Yeah,
they're
well,
the Grizzlies in
when
cross
they
country.
go with wrestling,
Gainesville?
they're
Yep.
the Grizzlies.
Yep.
So I'm guessing when they combine, that's what they do.
Okay, and they ran at Madelia last week. Did not see anything on either one.
We'd love to give you some highlights here on the air, but it's kind of tough to do that.
They have the Gopher Conference meet Thursday at Freeborn.
Mm-hmm. You ever run Freeborn? You ever play the golf course there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. A lot of hills,
Yep. I used
narrow
to
fairways.
used to have turtles right there by the clubhouse. I used to nail those babies all the time.
The Waseca Blue Jays, Gary Meyer's crew, they ran at the 8-team Mankato East Invite last week. The boys had one of their kind of off days.
What
finished
happened?
5th out of 8 teams. The girls finished 2nd out of 8 teams. For the boys, Strike and Attenberger led the way, finishing 2nd and 6th.
Mm-hmm.
And for the girls, Abby Dufault and McCabe led the way, finishing 4th and 9th. So they will host the Big South Conference meet Tuesday out at Waseca Lakeside.
Poor Joe he's in charge of that, being the AD, and they had a real mock through last week. They got to run one at home, and so he got the lay of the land, and had 2 girls that had to be carted away by ambulance or something last week, so let's hope this week's a little bit better.
I saw as I came up the 18th fairway, the cross-country stalls at the starting line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all marked out on the fairway.
There was a movie, I never heard about it, and somebody told me it. Kevin Costner, and it's called McFarland.
Yes.
And it has to do with the cross-country team. It's all Hispanic runners.
Yep.
I watched that the other night.
Did you? I haven't seen it.
You got to watch that. Yeah. That's a good show.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
Yeah, they made cross-country actually look kind of neat.
Well, volleyball teams in the area, we're going to start out with Crystal Lamont's WEM crew. They have set a school record for wins in one season, 25-3, the Bucks are. They handled Medford 3-0 in their only game last week. Monday, Waterville is at Waseca, and Thursday, Waterville is at JWP. So a couple of local matchups in their final 2 regular season matches.
Those are the kind of bus trips you love.
25 wins, wow.
Ranked 5th, I
Yeah, I'm going to guess they're going to be at 27 after those 2 matches. I'm just guessing. Okay.
Waseca had the week off to get ready, and they play Monday, as we mentioned. WEM comes to town. Tuesday, they go to St. James. Teddy, question for you.
Answer for you.
Waterville,
Yep.
28 matches. Why has Waseca only played 13?
That's a good question.
No tournaments.
Might be a time zone difference there.
I wonder if new coach and stuff, did we...
Well, I think Waterville's getting in tournaments every weekend.
Yeah, they've played in 3 or 4 tourneys.
That's the key.
But everybody, New
But I know
Richland's
that-
played 23, JWP's even played 18. 13, that seems awful low.
Well, just call Joe Hedebar and ask him why.
Okay.
It sounds like Title IX not being in practice here, maybe. I don't know.
NRHEG, the Panthers are 12-11 for the year. They defeated USC 3-1 in their only match of the week. They close their regular season Thursday when Blooming Prairie comes to town.
I remember when USC had a coach named Beckerman.
Yep.
And that guy was an unbelievable coach.
Yes, he was.
And I think he's retired. Otherwise, USC would still be up there.
Yep. And JWP, they finally snapped their 8 losses in 9 matches. They defeated Cleveland 3-0. They are 7-11 for the year. They play Tuesday at Lake Crystal Welcome Memorial, and Thursday WEM comes to town, and that'll wrap up the regular seasons for volleyball this week.
And they call it blackjack. 7-11, baby.
There you
Shoot
go.
those babies. Yep. Here we go.
Tennis, Kyle Collins' crew, as we mentioned last week, they lost the first round of the section. Their team finished 11-5 for the year. They had individual sections this week. The Jays sent 2 singles, 2 doubles teams. Both of the singles players lost their first match and was out. Both of the doubles team won their first match and then lost to either the first or second seed in the second round. So no Jays made it to the second day.
Nope. And there was a concept where you go take some of your singles players, move them into doubles.
Yep.
Hope we can get somebody advanced on the state, but it didn't quite work this year.
Yep. The Jays took their top 2 singles players and teamed up at doubles. But I saw on Kyle's roster there's only 3 seniors on the team. So, hopefully a lot of those youngsters I think he has 8 letter winners back next year.
And they'll get the bug, and this winter they'll be in the indoor courts, and that's where it is.
And our soccer teams, again, a disappointing ending for the boys, especially. Waseca, last year, Ted, they were 10-4-1. This year, they're 10-5-1. They lost the opening game of the section. Well, they had a first-round bye, so they lost in the quarterfinals to Albert Lee, 1-0 in overtime. And Albert Lee went on then to knock off top-seeded Mankato West in the next round.
Yep.
So I believe the Tigers are either in the semis or the finals already.
And then Mankato East, didn't they upset West?
Yep.
Yeah. So, and East was like the 8th seed or something.
Yep.
So
been some big upsets.
You got some good goaltending in soccer and low scoring.
Yeah.
And the wind was blowing on a couple of those days like crazy, and they said that really made an impact on the game.
Yep. But another great season for the boys, 10-5-1. The girls finished, and this is almost uncanny. Last year our girls were 9-7-1. This year they finished 9-8-1. Just unbelievable. They won their first section game against Fairmont 2-0, and then lost in the next round to Mankato East 2-0. So it's funny as you get on in tournament play in soccer, you see all those scores 1-0, 2-0, 2-1. There's none of those 11-0s like you have during the regular season.
Which I like to see, but
well, most people do that aren't soccer people.
Aficionados.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for,
I figured
Teddy.
that. Okay.
Well, that kind of does it for our local scene.
Okay.
We move into the big time.
No swimming?
No swimming.
Okay. I was just checking.
No swimming. Well, and even before we go to MSU and Gussie's, I got to go right to the Gophers, Teddy, because, as we've mentioned many times, I'm a positive sort of guy, and I hate to nitpick, but I got a couple questions
Answer
for
me
you.
this, Teddy. Answer me this. Okay.
Answer me this, Teddy. I got a couple questions on the Gophers. Got pounded by Nebraska.
Yeah.
48-25. Number one, our defense is supposed to be phenomenal. Well, when it's a close game and you punt inside the 1 yard line and you promptly let the team go 99 yards right down the field, that tells me a defense is not real phenomenal.
It's kind of about as far as you can go without being in the end zone.
Yeah,
Yep. It's, that was kind of disappointing.
Most points the Gophers have given up, I think they said, in 3 years since they went to Michigan once and gave up 55.
I can remember years ago when Nebraska rung up, 78 against us.
I was at the Nebraska game when I think they scored 84.
Okay.
And there was about 3 of us left in the stands at the end of the game.
They said that yesterday, same thing.
Yep.
There's hardly anybody left and all red. A lot of people just made the 6-hour trip up from Nebraska. And it's kind of sad when you're the home team and the other team has got more people.
And
in
they
the
made a
stands.
lot more noise, too, watching it on TV.
Yeah.
Another question, Ted.
I've got another answer then.
Shannon Brooks, the freshman phenom. He carries the week before for 176 yards.
No, he made a mistake.
In the first half of the game, he carried 4 times, fumbled once. Jerry Kill was on at halftime and said, no, that's not the reason he didn't carry the ball more. I thought Smith was doing a good job. Smith's totals for the game were 8 carries for 20 yards. Now, how good of a job is that?
I think they had 68 yards total on 23 carries. Yeah, that's kind of sad.
Gosh, the Gophers 4-3. They have a much-needed bye this week, and then they'll have Michigan coming to town. And as long as we're looking at the Big Ten, how about Michigan and Michigan State?
That's what they got written down here, buddy.
Wow.
What a finish.
Unbelievable.
I mean, you couldn't predict that in 100 years. Gosh. You know, it's too bad that Michigan hadn't been up by 3. They could have run out in the end zone, run around until the clock elapsed, and they win by 1. But the guy couldn't do that. And then what he tried to do.
But why didn't he just fall on it?
Yes. I mean, fall on your sword sometimes, young man. But there's another game that was similar to that with Indiana and Rutgers.
Yeah, 55-52.
And Rutgers was behind by 25 points, and then it was a muff punt, and a guy from Rutgers picked up, ran for a touchdown, and then cut the lead, and then the whole momentum turned the other way, and Rutgers came back and won. So how many times are you going to see a misplayed punt return for a touchdown? I mean, you just don't see that.
I think Jim Harbaugh was even in shock over that one.
Yeah, I'd hate to see their practices this week.
I would have hated to been in that locker room after the game.
That poor guy.
It looks, though, Ohio State's starting to slowly come together a little better, and Iowa appears to be the real deal, don't they?
I've always liked that Kirk Friends,
Yeah.
and he's been catching a lot of heat the last couple of years, but I'm glad he's having a good year.
Well, we got to look at MSU and our Gusties as we keep track of every unit.
Just like we predicted.
MSU 7-0.
Yep.
They beat Concordia St. Paul 51-10 yesterday,
And lost their
and
star.
their top running back wasn't even dressed.
He's not going to be dressed anymore.
No, doesn't sound good.
He had compartmental. What was it?
Yeah, you got it.
Well, there's chronic and there's compartmental, and he got the worst one.
Yeah.
And apparently they had to operate right away on Monday last week and relieve the pressure, and they said he's probably done for the season. Connor Thomas is his name, and that's sad, but at the same time they had a good team to play against.
Yeah.
But I like the fact they said they're working on their passing game.
Yeah.
And they're 13 for 27 for maybe 170 yards. I'm thinking, boy, that's really working on your passing game. Doesn't sound real good to me.
The Mavs will be at home next Saturday. Winona State comes to town.
Yep. Maybe the hockey team should go to that game and see how to score some points.
Yeah.
That's an idea.
The Gusties, as we said, the last half of their schedule gets a lot tougher.
Brutal.
They ran into 14th ranked St. John's. I think the Gusties were 20th this week. St. John's 49, Gustavus 27. But by God, the Gusties are going to score their points, aren't they, against
Yes,
anybody?
they are.
Your Boyce brothers both had a bunch of catches again, and I think the Gusties were ahead 14-7,
Yes, they were.
and only down 7 at half.
But it's like you said, they're going to score their points, so you're going to have to outscore them. They're going to put the scoreboard up.
And playing at St. John's is like going to Lambeau.
Oh, that's like
They just don't lose very often there.
It's like the Christians against the Lions. That's what it is.
The Gusties also have the week off this week, and then they'll have Bethel coming to town the following week. We got to talk about the Vikes and Green Bay, both, Teddy. We always lump those together. The Pack 5-0, looking for their first 6-0 start in a few years.
I would not know when that was.
I heard it this morning, and I forgot, maybe 2009.
Oh, not last century?
Something like that. But they defeated St. Louis, the Rams, 24-10. They have San Diego coming to town, and although the Vikes really dominated San Diego, I always think they're a scary team because if Phillip Rivers happens to get on a roll, he can really light it up.
Well, let's see. I'm trying to think what happened last week. Oh, they're on Rodgers because he gave up 2 interceptions.
Yeah,
I
finally.
mean, yeah, and you're thinking, God Almighty, a terrible game. People are really nitpicking now when they go that way. But poor Kansas City lost their top running back, the ACL last week, and told him he should not have done that discount double check he did in Lambeau Field the week before. He should not have done that.
That's true.
He got the old Sports Illustrated jinx on him now, yo-yo.
So the Pack will be the late game today against San Diego. The Vikes, they are 2-2. They're coming off a bye week now this week, and they will play the Kansas City Chiefs at home today.
Yep.
With a big protest planned.
Yep. Well, remember when they had the Braves and the Cleveland Indians in the World Series, and they had the big protest on American natives and stuff like that? And it seems to me that they're both still the same name.
Yeah, they are.
I don't think nothing really changed, did it?
They know it.
Okay.
The Minnesota Lynx, Teddy.
Yep.
Won another WNBA championship.
Did you watch that?
3 in the last 5 years.
I tell you what, Indiana forgot to show up.
Oh,
They
talk
they
about
wilted under the pressure.
Let's have our worst shooting night of the year. Let's have it in Game 5.
Yep. Just do it in the second quarter, so we give them a lot of hope in the second half. It was fun to watch.
Lynx really dominated the 5th and deciding game.
But you look at like Lindsey Whalen and Simone Augustus, and you wonder in Buxton, are they going to be back next year? They're getting pretty old. They're in their 30s, and they say they make their money overseas, so now they usually don't get any off time.
I saw Lindsay said she was going to cut down on her overseas playing a little bit. So
she should.
Yeah.
Maybe cut down on her eating a little bit too. I'm just kidding. Okay. Just kidding. Okay. TV makes you look a little bit heavier than you normally are.
And on the other half, Teddy, the T-Wolves are still in preseason.
Hey, they won a game.
They will open up October 28th with the L.A. Lakers. Wow.
Yep. Well, the Lakers aren't nearly what they used to be.
No, I know it. But
and with Sam Mitchell and coaching right now with Flip, they're saying Flip's out indefinitely. It was going to be, he'd be back for the season, for the regular season. So we'll see what happens. But apparently they got the right guys in. They got that Miller taking over the guards, helping out Tyus and helping out Ricky Rubio. They got some trainer that came out of retirement that supposedly took Detroit or somebody and kept them really healthy during the season. So now they're trying to get Pekovic and Rubio to stay healthy during the season.
And they said Prince and KG are just like a couple of coaches out there with the young kids.
So that's I hope it pans out, but at the same time they're doing the right things. So we'll see what happens.
Minnesota Wild. I know you're a big Wild fan, Teddy.
Yeah, I got a shirt just for them. Okay.
The Wild are now. I saw something in the standings.
It's an extra large.
If you end regulation tied and lose it, I know that. Yeah. And lose it in sudden death or overtime,
it doesn't come out as a loss.
It doesn't get marked down as a loss. I knew you got the point. I just thought it still showed up as a loss. So they are 3-0-1.
And in 5th place.
Yeah. That's something.
There's 4 teams in front of them. Haven't lost yet.
And as every one of their games, I think, has been at 1 goaler.
Yeah. I think their differential is like 13-11.
Yeah.
But that Kemper, I tell you what, he did everything but stand on his head to keep him in the game.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, third period, they were the better team by far, but they just couldn't get that go-ahead goal.
Yeah.
But it was that 3-on-3. I don't know if you watched the overtime.
Yeah, I did.
That was fun to watch. The guys are just flying everywhere.
Yep.
Geez, the Wolves had a chance. The Wolves, they had a chance. What were they doing? Who was it? Koivu had the ball. That was it. Okay, in the Wild, and here's a guy. Scandella was wide open down at the red line or whatever, and he didn't see him. And I think that would have been the game. And then all of a sudden, boom! Here comes L.A. and bam, bam, ball game. It's fun to watch.
Tonight, the Wild will be at the Anaheim Whack-Whacks.
Yep, and they haven't won yet, have they?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so. When was the last time the mighty duck pond there was quackless?
And finally, Teddy,
yes.
On my docket, Major League Baseball, the playoffs, they're now to the championship rounds.
Oh, poor David Price.
Kansas City has a 2-0 lead over Toronto.
Well, they're loving that 7th inning, aren't they? Was it when? Geez, what were they behind Houston? Houston, they're down what? 6-1 or something.
Yep.
And the odds on that weren't real good. And yesterday they're down what? 3-0.
Yep. Scored 5 in the 7th.
And David Price, poor guy, hard luck loser.
Yeah.
Gives up a goofy fly ball, and then all of a sudden, bam, 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 here come the hits.
And the Mets and the Cubs, they just started yesterday. The Mets won the first game, so they're up 1-0.
Yep. Do you have a favorite to win it all?
Oh, Cubbies, of course.
You want the
Poor
Cubs.
Cubbies.
Well, it's only 1908.
Yeah, it's only...
What's the big deal?
Yeah.
Good God. People wonder,
Yeah.
these are going to win.
Well, it's kind of fun because actually, I know Kansas City got all the way to the finals last year, but actually there's teams in it that aren't usually in it.
Yeah.
Which makes it kind of fun.
Well, you kind of want to see Kansas City do it.
Yeah.
I mean, really, they've been a long time since they had it.
Yep.
But at the same time, Toronto, geez, they lost the first 2 games again. But this time it was at Kansas City. Last time it was at their home ballpark, and then they came back and won it. So, never count them out with those home run hitters. That Bautista, when he hit the home run that turned that one game around, geez, he could have killed somebody when he looked in the batter's box. So he was so mad.
What really amazes me about these teams, Teddy, that I just don't see with the Twins is the pitching. It's so phenomenal.
Well, the relief
Everybody's throwing 95 to 100. A curve drops off the table. A changeup drops. My gosh, they're good.
John Lester shooting last night where the ball was supposed to be like a cutter come down at your ankles, and the ball, they said that when it's low and flat like that, that's when it's really tough.
Yeah.
They still gave up 3 runs.
Yeah, I know it.
It's fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. Anything else you have, sir?
Oh, let's see. I don't think anything around town. Apparently, the Historical Society's got some new. Seriously, okay? Don't laugh, all right? They got some exhibit. It was in the Free Press this morning, and supposedly it's like the forest or something, and cylinders, and you're supposed to go see it at the Historical Society. So you people looking for something to do out there, Waseca's rocking this week.
And for you people that think we're sports, listen to Muhammad here.
Mahat Muhammad, okay.
We got to give a shout out to our good friend and viewer Lamar Odom.
Ooh, yeah. Is he still alive? Okay.
He watches every week.
What is a brothel anyhow?
And he doesn't have much more to do except watch right now. So.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, really.
2 minutes, boy.
Yeah.
Okay. You got anything else on but
No, I'm
local
done.
scene? Okay.
I'm done.
How about, let's see, TCF Stadium? How about that crew is going to take that from yesterday being a Gophers game and today being a Vikings game? You ever seen them do that?
No.
I haven't either. Just thought I'd bring it up, but I mean, you got to have a crew that you could take and scrub that stuff and get the Viking logo and everything, and get the stands up there with all the Viking banners and everything. I bet they're going to be glad they got their own facility. And I saw that the other day. We were downtown Minneapolis, and it's really impressive. You've seen it?
Nope.
From the outside. Oh man, my
State of the art, baby.
Oh God, it's going to be gorgeous. And then they talked about the windows with the birds flying in it and everything. You have any trouble with that?
No.
I do. No, they can see right through my house, and all of a sudden, boom! You know,
Oh yeah, I have them fly into my window all the
yeah,
time.
you just said you didn't.
Oh, I thought you were talking about up there.
No.
And just, Teddy,
Yes.
I know we'll close on this note because
Yes.
I know this is dear to your heart.
Da.
This will be the final week for Link's Luscious Lawn Care.
No.
The president has spoken.
Oh.
This will be wrapping it up. 26 weeks of mowing, 2 longer than each of the past 2 years.
I tell you what, he had a luscious this summer with all the rain we had.
And I've already signed you up for next year to come back.
Well, you might want to think about that again. I forgot my song today.
No
La
song,
la
huh?
la 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 da 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 da. Just the eye of the tiger. Da 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 da.
And that will do it for this week's show. Thanks to Steve and Hudson for producing the show. Thanks for Teddy, Ahmad, Tender Voice, Golden Throated Hammond. And thanks to you for watching. We'll see you all next week.
Of the tiger, of the